And this is why you can't change that one weakness. Ciao, and welcome back to my channel where we explore how to develop your soft skills and create the life you desire. Today, we're going to understand why it is so hard at times to change that one characteristic that you've been trying to change for so long, and most importantly, what process can help you to do so. What do I mean by changing a characteristic? At times I hear people saying, I would love to be kinder, but I can't help it, I'm just too straightforward. And when I hear it, my mind can't help going to job interviews. You know, when people ask you, what is your weakness? And you're like, oh, I'm just too hardworking. I can't help it. I work so hard. I can't stop working so hard. But what's wrong with that? Nothing is wrong with working hard. And nothing is wrong with being honest. Nothing is wrong with being straightforward. So what is it that we really want to change? And how can we do so? The problem in changing certain characteristics is that we get very attached to them and they become part of our identity. But the reason why we become so attached to them is that they are not bad at all in the first place. Think about this. What is wrong with being honest? Nothing. What is wrong with being determined? Nothing. What is wrong with being empathetic? Nothing. And that's why we can't change certain characteristics, because we phrase them in a way that is good, it's positive. Who would want to be less honest? Who would want to be less kind? So, what do we need to understand? We need to understand what process to put in place in order to actually change those characteristics that are not helping us at all. And the first step is to ask yourself a very important question. Is this characteristic serving me well? Because remember that if you don't choose to change it, nothing I can say or you can do will help you to change it. Once you decide that that characteristic is not something that you want in your life because it's creating some damage, it's not helping you to get to the results that you want, then at that point, you're going to need to go to step 2. Let's take the example that we did earlier. I would like to be kinder, but I'm just too straightforward, I can't help it. What can we see in this dynamic? We can imagine a person that probably, when talking with people, is very aggressive, doesn't really consider what the other person may be feeling, so they don't filter their communication in a way that is kind as they say they would like it to be. So the first step is to identify that you want to change that, but the second step is to split this characteristic. What do I mean? When I'm telling myself I'm too straightforward, I'm phrasing it in this way so that I can feel better about something that I don't like, because straightforward is a positive characteristic. What is it that I don't like? For example, I don't like the fact that I just don't care about the other person's feeling in that moment, that I put my straightforwardness in front of kindness, that I don't filter my communication, I just say things regardless of what the other person may be feeling or thinking. Okay, those are the things that I don't want to say and that I hide behind the too straightforward. So what do I need to do? I need to split the too straightforward into 2 characteristics. One is being straightforward. I like being straightforward. I'm going to keep this characteristic with me. The second one is a characteristic that I really want to change. What is it? When I am communicating, I don't care about other people's feeling. And I need to have the courage to phrase it in a way that's maybe not that pleasant for me in that moment. No one likes to think that they don't care. But being not pleasant is the one that I'm going to change. As long as I say, no, I mean, it's nice. I mean, it's just that I'm too straightforward. I'm never going to change it. So we've made the example for straightforward. Let's make another example for some other characteristic. When people say, I would like to say what I think, the opposite, no? But I'm just too kind. I'm just too nice. Is the problem being nice? No. So we need to split the characteristic. Nice, we can keep it. What is it that we don't want to? I allow people to walk all over me. I'm a people pleaser. I care so much about people's approval that I don't say what I think. That's the negative characteristic that I need to have the courage to tell myself. Very often, simply by splitting the characteristic and labeling the negative part negatively, the work will be done. So very often that's enough. Because when I realize that what is stopping me from achieving the kindness I want is not my straightforwardness, but it's the fact that I don't care, at times that's enough, because it opens my eyes and I'm like, okay, wait, I want to care. I care about people. So that's it. Done. Other times instead, we may have a habit that's so rooted and ingrained that it takes a little bit longer. In that case, we need to move on to step 3. And step 3 will be catching yourself every time that you tell yourself, oh, I'm too honest, oh, I'm too straightforward, I'm too kind. 2, next to a positive characteristic, doesn't exist. That's a construct of our mind in order to make our emotion lighter, in order to make us feel a bit better. So whenever there's 2 plus a positive characteristic, you know that you need to split that characteristic. You need to name it as it is, label it for what it is, and then at that point, you will realize that day by day, you will stop having that behavior. Because the reason why you really couldn't change it was that in your mind it was something positive. And no one wants to let go of positive characteristics and make us who we are. So, if by listening you thought about one characteristic that you tend to have and phrase as I'm too something good, please leave a comment so that we can share our own experiences. And if you've enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to this channel. Here, there's another couple of videos that you may find very helpful and interesting, and I can't wait to see you in the next video.